With major orders continuing to stagnate and the wait for new fresh content in the form of the Illuminate and perhaps even some further progression systems, I thought it would be great to make a top 5 primary and support weapon combos list. As always, I'm always interested to hear what your thoughts are, folks, so sound off in the comments below with your top primary and support weapon choices. Now, let's get into it. I just want to highlight how utterly insane any form of laser maxing is now after the recent update. Any combination of the scythe, sickle, laser cannon, quasar, and the thermite grenade is an absolute joy to play, and I actually think that this is probably my favourite go-to arrangement of weapons when I'm facing our oil-swilling adversaries. The increase to damage to the scythe makes this an incredibly viable choice, dealing with berserkers and devastators brilliantly, setting them on fire. It's absolutely awesome. The same goes for the sickle. This thing's always been super punchy to use in my opinion, and I think that the updated sound effect is a great touch there from Arrowhead. The quasar is just a reliable old horse that alleviates that ammo economy issue when paired with other energy weapons, and the laser cannon, as you already know, can do serious work to heavy targets with well-placed shots. The DCS and the anti-tank choices such as the recoilless and the spear are also incredible combos, with the DCS making short work of berserkers and devastators with some well-placed headshots, and this is a very fun one to use, folks. Choices are now, well, anti-tank choices, folks. They actually work. You can obliterate bot armored columns efficiently, just like it should be. It's Black Friday, folks, and our channel sponsor, Instant Gaming, are pulling out all the stops and offering some insane discounts over the Black Friday weekend. From November the 29th to December the 2nd, Instant Gaming will be offering you new, exciting deals every single day. This is a great opportunity to purchase blockbuster games from this year past, such as Black Myth Wukong or Space Marine 2, or maybe even Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, or perhaps snap yourself up a superb deal on a highly anticipated title coming up early next year, such as Monster Hunter Wilds or Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 at insanely discounted prices. Instant Gaming is 100% legit because they acquire all their keys directly from the source, providing you authenticity without compromise, and this is reflected in their 4.7 Trustpilot score from over 720,000 reviews. Instant Gaming is not just another key marketplace, folks. Everything comes from authorized sellers. So, if you want to save some money on video games and support me and the Phase Shift community, click on the link in the description or the pinned comment below and enjoy those juicy Instant Gaming discounts. Now, back to the video. For bots, this update has seen some of our weapons become even more effective against gunship engines, which is a welcome change, and the addition of rocket striders into the fray has meant we need to be even more focused on dealing with heavy armored chaff to be effective. In terms of backpack loadouts, the railgun has found itself as one of my premier choices in this update. Fueled by a supply pack, it cannot be understated just how utterly devastating this weapon is once you get into the gunslinger style of play it necessitates. It can one-shot devastators and the new rocket strider with ease, which is incredibly satisfying and strong in the game's current state, believe me, folks. It's also very strong against recently nerfed gunships, taking them down much more easily than previous updates, and this feels great, and I fully recommend that you revisit this if you haven't already. And it can also, of course, dispatch hulks with well-placed shots to the eye. Once again, very satisfying. The AMR is also now back into my top choices against bots. I'm not really sure it ever did leave. It can one-tap devastators, two-tap hulks if you pinpoint their eye, and now, perhaps most impressively, it can two-shot gunships, which is absolutely insane, and as if it wasn't enough, it can also one-shot rocket striders if you hit their hip axle durable spot. This weapon feels even more immense to play now. The Quasar's charge-up time is well worth the insane levels of obliteration this offers us against Terminid heavy offerings, taking the heads off Bile Titans and Chargers with ease, and this really does take me back to the early days when the Quasar was just put into the game, and what a great time that was. Combine it with a jetpack and you can do some really exciting swashbuckling plays, a very fun and viable loadout, folks. More generally, I want to talk about how utterly epic MGs and fire weapons feel now. I've never been a massive fan of a flamethrower, but oh my word, I cannot believe how awesome both the Torture and the flamethrower feel to play now. I've been particularly impressed with how well the Torture performs with its primary weapon status, and this is further compounded solid when we combine this with utility choices such as the stun or most recently the gas grenade. Both of these are excellent, but the newly added gas grenade lingers for around 15 seconds, and during that time it confuses enemies, opening up that window for you to melt the little suckers into oblivion. The gas is actually now my go-to grenade choice quite often, closely followed by the thermite. More on that one later, folks, but I digress. Fire weapons make short work of charges when you fry their faces and weak spots, and are an absolute must-try in my opinion, folks. Combine the flamethrower with either blitzer or the crossbow and you will be blown away at just how strong you've become. You can of course combine this choice with either the laser dog or the supply pack, depending on the approach you wish to take. Now the MG43 and the MG206 both have a very special place in my heart at the moment, particularly the MG43. It rips through Terminid chaff with ease, and it's particularly impressive now against Alpha Commanders, disposing of those nuisances easily. Whilst the 206 has experienced a nerf, I still really rate this weapon for fun factor and the ability to shred through things like spewers and alphas too, and it also does great work to the weak spots on chargers and impalers. For backpack loadouts, I'm going to keep this brief. The blitzer or the crossbow paired with a recoilless or a spear offer us more than we could have ever hoped for against Terminids. They now behave exactly how they should be, deleting heavy resistance with ease. It actually has proper anti-tank status now, folks, and it's incredibly satisfying to use both of these weapons. And if you're more inclined to sit back and defend yourself whilst picking off larger threats in the Terminid arsenal, this is absolutely the way to go. For backpack loadouts, and due to the vast number of chaff and spewers you can find yourself up against, I am loving the newly buffed crossbow and railgun against bugs. The rate of fire, damage and AoE the crossbow offers is absolutely devastating, and as expected, the railgun is now doing even more serious work against chargers and impalers, whilst also doing respectable work against bile titans with some well-placed headshots. Headshots to alpha commanders and spewers make short work of them, and you can quickly find yourself weaving between the crossbow for devastating AoE, bug hole closes and nest and spore spewer destruction. As always, ammo economy is an area to be highly aware of, high up on your potential choice of stratagem picks. An old favourite of mine is now at the forefront of my choices again as well, folks. The Quasar and the Blitzer. You know the score here. The Blitzer just absolutely rocks Terminids. They get bullied around with ease, and you can make short work of an Alpha Commander with a well-placed ADS headshot, taking it off cleanly here, folks. Quasar's charge-up time is well worth the insane levels of obliteration this offers us against Terminid heavy offerings, taking the heads off bile titans and chargers with ease, and this really does take me back to the early days when the Quasar was just put into the game, and what a great time that was. Combine it with a jetpack and you can do some really exciting swashbuckling plays, a very fun and viable loadout, folks. Check out this next video, it's got you covered. Take care of yourselves, keep having fun, come check out a stream on YouTube or Twitch, and I'll see you in the next one.